Hey, soldier! Welcome to Pocket Ronnie. Sit down, pay attention, and conquer your fear of math.
Okay, we're going to be doing the Cartesian coordinate system. Before we were just doing a number line, a straight number line that looked like this. Okay, now we are adding another axis to this, and this is called the Cartesian coordinate system, named after René Descartes. So a coordinate system, when you have coordinates are used for mapping in GPS systems, within aerospace, with airplanes, with ships. So it's really good to know how a coordinate system works. And with this, you can see you have we call this the x-axis, and this is called the y-axis. This point right here in the center, where the x and y-axis cross, is called the origin. And we're going to get into what the coordinate of that is in a minute. You can see that this coordinate system is broke up into 4 sections. These sections are called quadrants. And you start numbering over here, this top one, and you go counterclockwise to count them. This is quadrant 1. This one is quadrant 2. Down here is quadrant 3. Down here, and this one is quadrant 4. And you usually use Roman numerals to label them. If you don't, then that's okay. So again, this one up here is quadrant 1. So in your coordinate system, again, where the x and y axis cross is the origin. The coordinates for that is 0, 0. So we're going to start right here at 0, 0. We haven't gone anywhere. The one thing I need to say is that your coordinate system, they're going to be written like this, in an x, y coordinate. We're going to go the x direction first, and then you write the comma, and then a y direction. And a coordinate is written your x, comma, y, with parentheses around those. This is how a coordinate is written. So this is why we write this coordinate is 0, 0. This is our starting point. We haven't gone anywhere in any direction. When you go to the right in the x direction, that's the positive direction. When you go to the left on the x-axis, you are going in the negative direction. So to the right is positive. You can think, I'm going to the right. When I am right, I am positive. For the y direction, when you go up, that is in the positive direction. And when you go down, that is in the negative direction. You can think positive is heaven. Negative is hell. So you can think of that. Alright, so now we're going to look at, and if you can't see, we're on page 5E. We're looking at numbers 1 through 3. They want you to write the coordinates of point A. Remember, coordinates are written your x first, then your y. So we're going to go in the x direction. So point A is right here. Always start at the origin. Now let's go in our x direction first. If we're going to the right, so this means we're going in the positive, you count the lines, not the spaces. Don't count the number of squares, you count the actual lines. If I start here, then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, A is at 3 lines over. 3 lines over. So I went 3 lines to the right, so my x coordinate is 3, so I can write that up here. Now I go up. Y is in the up and down direction. X is in the right and left. This is how I think of it. X, you are running. You run this way. Y, you go up and down. So we ran over 1, 2, 3 in the x direction. So now we go up, counting the lines, not the squares. 1, 2, 3. I went up 3, and going up is positive. Going up to heaven is positive. So the coordinates for point A is 3, 3. Your x coordinate is 3. Your y coordinate is 3. Now let's look at point B. So always start at the origin, starting at the origin, which is 0. Then you count over, and you can see we're going to the right, which that is a positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go over 4 because that's where B is lined up with. So the x coordinate is 4, then I go down 1, 2. Going down in the y direction is negative. I went down 2, so that means my y coordinate is negative 2. In a coordinate system, your negative number tells you which direction to go. Your positive numbers tell you which direction to go. So point B, I go over positive 4 to the right, and I go down 2 to get to that coordinate. Now let's look at point C. You can see I'm over here in quadrant 2. So over here, I go to my x direction first. I'm going to the left. So going to the left on the x direction is negative numbers. Because this is 0, this would be, this line is negative 1, this line is negative 2, this line is negative 3, this line is negative 4. If you need to label your graph negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 like that, you can. You can label in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3. You're labeling the lines, not the spaces. This line is negative 1. This line is negative 2, so forth. So going to where I'm matching up with this line here, I go over negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. I went in the negative 5 direction, so my x coordinate is negative 5 to the left. Now go up to get to this point right here, and I'm going up, so up is positive in the y direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my y coordinate is a positive 5. Negative 5 for my x coordinate says go to the left. Positive 5 for y coordinate says go up. Now, number 4, they want you to graph point D. You need to graph this coordinate, and then we're going to label it point D. So remember, coordinates are laid out x, y. So the first number is my x number. Okay, I'm going to switch color pens. Okay, so my first number is negative 1, and that's my x direction. I always start at the origin. So if my x coordinate is negative 1, I go to the negative 1, I go to the left in the x direction. X's are running side to side. So go over negative 1, which is to the left. Now my y coordinate is negative 4. Negative in the y direction means go down. So I'm already gone left, negative 1. Now I go down 4. I'm counting the lines. Remember, I start at the origin. I go over negative 1. I go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so my point is right there. Again, I went over negative 1, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that point, label that point D. Now let's do this coordinate. Remember, your x is the first number. So negative 5. Negative in the x direction means go to the left. Start at the origin, count over 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's negative 5. Now that I'm at negative 5, our y coordinate for this problem is a positive 3. I'm at negative 5 and I want to go positive 3. Positive 3 in the y direction means go up. 1, 2, 3. So that point right there is point E. I went to the left 5 lines, up 3 lines, and that's point E. Alright, now I want to graph this coordinate. Remember, x is first, then y. I always recommend doing your x first. Always start at the origin. So starting at the origin, I need to go positive 2. Positive 2 in the x direction means go to the right. So I'll go to the right, count 1, 2. Now my y is negative 1. Negative in the y direction means go down. And so go down 1. So I went over 1, 2, go down 1. And that is point F right there. So the main things to remember, this is the origin. When you're going in the x direction, right is positive, left is negative. For the y direction, up is positive, down is negative. Do your x coordinates first, then do your y coordinates.